All right, I'm going to go through the Algebra 2 review, the top section about exponents, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this video. Okay, and these are all regarding exponents. So I'm going to do this. I think you can see. So number 1 is b to the negative fifth. And what we want you to remember is that if you see a negative exponent, it really sends it to the other part of the fraction. So technically speaking, there's no fraction here. It's b to the negative fifth over 1. So it sends the b's downward. And when you send it down and there's nothing on top, by the way, when you send it down, it becomes a positive exponent. And when there's nothing on top, you have to put a placeholder of 1. Okay? Just like if you had you had a 2 and you had to move it down and you put a 2 on the bottom, you need a placeholder of 1. It can't just be like a fraction bar with 2 on the bottom. Question number 2, in parentheses, x to the fifth times y to the negative second, all raised to the 8th power. So the fact that that 8 is outside the parentheses means it counts for both. Technically, and I'm not going to rewrite all of it, but it would be like rewriting this exact parenthesis a total of 8 times, okay? So it's going to be x to the fifth times x to the fifth times x to the fifth times 8 times, or 5 times 8, which gives me x to the 40. And again, it's going to be y to the negative 2, y to the negative 2, y. So it's going to be 8 groups of negative 2, which is a total of negative 16, okay? Remember, we don't want to leave an answer with a negative exponent, and the negative exponent only goes with the y's. The x's have a positive exponent, so the only part that goes to the denominator to change to a positive are the y's. Number 3 says p cubed b squared to the negative 2. Okay, so same idea as up here. Technically, I'd be writing this out twice, but because it's negative, it's going to go to the bottom. So I'm writing out p cubed b squared. This is only twice, so it doesn't hurt to write it out. This one was 8. You could do it, but I think we can do it we obviously were able to do it without writing it out. And again, if there's nothing on top, we want a placeholder of 1. And now we're multiplying p cubed times p cubed for a total of p to the 6th, okay? And when you are doing these problems, you don't have to show all of this work, but I want you to understand where these numbers are coming from, okay? So p to the 6th and bb, that's a total of b to the 4th. And again, there's a 1 on top as a placeholder. Number 4 has a number in it, so it's parentheses, 4x cubed y squared. And again, I want you to think about it like you're writing the whole parenthesis out twice because there's a 2 here. There's no exponents in this one, so I'm just thinking 4 times 4 is 16, or you could have thought of it as 4 squared. X cubed times x cubed. Okay, we did it up here when there's 3 and 3, that's a total of 6. Okay, you could think of that as x cubed squared. And y, that's just 2 of them, so y squared. You could think of that as y squared. So here's my final, most simplified answer, but this is also true. The last one, number 5, and I'm going to scoop my paper up so you can for sure see it, is x to the 4th raised to the 5th. And again, if you think about writing the parentheses out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, what you have is 5 groups of 4 x's. And 5 groups of 4 is a total of 20. So you have x to the 20th.